What's up, Storm Watchers? Uh, as I promised, or at least in the comment section, my description comment section, I was going to do weekly Ruby episode reviews. And as we all know, Volume 6, Episode 1 just came out today. And I just got back from seeing it. And of course, after seeing it, I was going to tell you my honest opinion about it, what's going on, how I feel about it, and whatnot. For start, I actually just want to I just want to get out just like how just smooth and slick and just overall just great the animation and visuals of Volume 6 looks. Even when I saw this really pixelated video like this one, this really pixelated phasey video of it, I can still just look at it and see how just fluid and crisp the animation was. I just want to get that out the way. And I was actually pretty startled to see Neptune back in the episode. I was like, oh, they brought back a side character to another side character. I guess that means something. Like maybe it's like a spark for like, the other characters we seen during the Vital Festival. Like we might see the sniper girl with Cap, or the tricked out aqua haired spiky girl with the skateboard pistols or whatever. We might see Flint Cole. We might see Neon Cat or whatever. That chick, whatever the fuck is her name is. You just might see them again. You might see uh, the welly dressed princess looking huntresses that Sun's team fought. I mean, it opens the door. Seeing Neptune alone pretty much opens the door for possibilities of seeing the background characters again. And honestly, I think that may be good because a lot of background characters actually, in their own right, actually had really unique character designs overall. I mean, I don't know for sure if they're good. I mean, I'm only just saying this may be good because I liked it most of their character designs. Their character design is probably something completely different from their character. So yeah, just getting something out. So I can't really be affirmative concrete on it. I'm just saying is Neptune may be the window to seeing previous characters or more sad characters to come in that look cool or may actually even have an interesting storyline. Because everyone knows Ruby is infamous for just bringing up unfamiliar and new characters out the wind, and rather A, killing them off, or B, make them lose relevancy, or C, just probably make them part of the main cast for a while, and then they'll just hit the road in the next volume or the next episode. But y'all get the point. Uh, it was kind of interesting because it really opened it how it opened up, and which I actually liked. Like at first, it was this winter tundra like setting and this train going through, and then you see Team Ruby with Lai, Ren, and Nora fight, holding off a bunch of ground, and pretty much I felt like it's a really good opening sequence to the episode. It really will keep you more or less. It will have your eyes more or less glued to the board. That's what my summer school teacher used to always say. Um, uh, let's see. In terms of actual choreography, it was pretty good. And honestly, actually, I don't know how to feel about Crow's Death Scythe, Y handler, also being a firearm. It's just I feel like Crow's weapon is definitive enough on its own merit, and you just slide in. Oh, got a double barrel, and you can shoot. It's doing too much in the woodwork. It's doing too much. Like like especially the part when Crow and Ruby more or less finished off the little Griffin realm, and they both did that little turn slash thing with their scythes. I'm like, and considering they both Ruby's is a sniper rifle, and he also has a gun now. It's like it kind of just pretty much made the same weapon, Crescent Rose, and his would be Crescent Rose too. It's just you kind of kill the whole, the charm of his sword, Crow's sword. You kind of kill the charm when you do that. Like it's all right how it is. It's definitive. It's what's the word I'm looking for? Pro Sword is definitive and is trademark as enough how it is being a Y handler slash death sight. And I just feel like when they put the knife the gun part on, I just felt like it was just doing too much, and now it just felt like Ruby's just Crescent Rose. I mean, unless they're doing some type of symbolism, like Ruby looks up the crow, then maybe I'll give it like a a pass by this much. But from what I've seen, it just looked like it looked like he has his own variation of Crescent Rose. It doesn't. There's no sense of him standing out anymore because of its almost similar design from Crescent Rose. That's pretty much all I got to say about that part. The choreography actually is pretty good, and it's not as slow and as open and as awkward as season 5 so four. Like it actually legitimately looked like people actually are fighting, like they're actually trying. It's actually suspense in it and tension and whatnot to it into the fight scene, into the choreography, and it's not just slow like like Lionheart versus Oscar, where he had the little dial thing and he shot at him and he had to block it. It was pumped up. It got you in the mood. It actually does look like it has substance, had layers to it, like onions. Onions have layers, and that's what kind of the choreography from Volume 6, from as far as I see, look like. There's actually layers. There's shit to it. It's suspenseful. It's not slow. People don't look like they're taking turns or trying to be too careful, like the Darth Vader versus Obi-Wan fight from A New Hope, episode 4, New Hope. Wing, wing. Oh, you just strike over there. Wing, wing, wing. Oh, okay, just go down a bit. Wing, wing, wing. There's actually choreography to it. It doesn't look like, people are intimidated or, whatnot, or just taking their time. It actually looks pumped up. The choreography is acceptable. Although there's one part of it that just really kind of I kind of just didn't know what was going on, where Ruby was fighting one of the Griffin Grims, and it was a close shot, like it was a leaving close shot because she was on the train and it was close, and it was backing off, and while it was panning off, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. While it was panning off, uh, you can kind of see her just not. You can kind of just see her just spinning her scythe instead of actually striking or anything or actually trying to fight the Grim. You just see her just spinning it nonchalantly. Like, I mean, she can do all of that. Why couldn't she just close into the ground to fight it instead of just spinning it towards it? I mean, she has all the agility, all the arm work, all the wrist work to do that. Then why couldn't she just close into the ground and cut it to pieces? Kind of just like the General Grievous and Obi-Wan fight in episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, when he had like the 4 lightsabers and he was spinning them. And I always said to myself, if he can do that, why couldn't he close into Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, he can vibrate them so fast. Why don't he just come into him and just take him out? That's what that scene, that closing out scene, that panning scene kind of looked like. She's just spinning it. Like, if she can do all that, if she had the agility and the speed to do all that, why couldn't she close into the Griffin Grim and cut it to pieces? That's all I'm just saying. But overall, there's just some things that just seem awkward. But the overall choreography, the overall fight scenes, they actually do look like, and they actually are enticing. Like, there's actually structure. There's actually, there's it's pictured perfect. It doesn't look, you know, awkward or slow like I keep saying before, but that's the only way y'all gonna get the picture if if I actually make it concrete on what I'm saying. I even like the tornado Sonic Heroes thing that Weiss and Ruby was doing. I mean, and despite how I feel about those characters, because I pretty much don't like anyone from Team Ruby except for Blake, and Blake is she's okay, but I just still like that there's actually, you know, teamwork now. Doesn't look like everyone's spaced out, and when you look at one scene and the next scene, then everything's spread out, everything's spread out, then everything's congested. Like there's actually order, there's actually choreography. People are actually in line. They're actually in defense. They're actually making defensive lines and charges. It doesn't look like they're scattered about and whatnot. Although during the second train fight scene, it kind of did get a bit awkward. Where, oh, okay, you see one of the more or less the slobby huntsmen, and Oscar, and it was on one segment of the train. It was on one box of the train, and Team Ruby was on another. And you see the Grim coming back. You see the Grim coming from the back. Yet when they pan it again, you see actually the Grim like on the middle of you actually see them on the middle of the train. So I was kind of like really discombobulated. I'm like, wait, were they in the? They were in the back. We saw them in the back, and then the next scene they were on front. They were on the train. Then they were on the side. There was no real. I actually. It was really disoriented what was going on. It's really just disjointed from the ending part of that whole fight scene. Let's see. And actually talking about suspense, I actually kind of also. I think the part when he pretty much, you know, introduced Roman Torch, not Roman Torchwick yet. Actually, I'll get into that later though. But when they introduced Adam, my bad. When they introduced Adam, I kind of thought it was pretty. They did the whole thing, show don't tell thing. They nailed it. They hit the nail on the head with that scene. But one thing I actually have to take back from it is it's funny how you'll hear him like talking like, "Hey, no, fuck you guys. I'm the leader of the White Fang. No, you're nobody, Roman." They panned it when it was moving upwards, when it was panning towards, you know, the throne. It's funny how you only hear them get killed by Adam, but they don't show it. And it was like, I mean, I know, but they had the right idea for the show don't tell concept about it, but I feel like they should have actually just showed Adam do it, because it would have reinforced the show don't tell aspect of that scene if they actually did show him fight them. I mean, I know Monty said himself, or not Monty, but no, maybe was it? No, yeah, because he said he created Aura so he can prevent, you know, total gore and splash and all that, you know, gore and decapitation. That's why he made the Aura. I mean, it was for the story, of course, and amongst other things. But the most I heard one thing he mostly did it because they mostly introduced Aura, so they wouldn't have to show gore and people get slashed and cut through and discavitate and whatnot. I get it, but I just feel like it. But I feel like they should still just reinforce that if they actually did show Adam fight and kill them, it would just only reinforce more in onto that concept. And I don't really see why it'll be too violent to show. I mean, especially after we seen Adam literally stab Sierra Khan and threw her down the steps, which is some weird theory about her might being alive. That's why I keep hearing. I'm like, no, we saw her die like shit. There's no point, and it's just, that's the point. But no, seriously, they should have showed it. It would reinforce the concept of the show don't tell writing formula they were trying to get out with that specific scene. It would have made more. It would have gave me a better visual of what happened. That's all I would have to say about that. And really, um, Uh, and from how it that particular scene in general, how it concluded, it's kind of still looked like Adam was still, he was still in a constant struggle of trying to get Blake on his side, or he's still trying to get over her, which I don't know. It's just kind of makes his character look really pathetic. I would have to say. I mean, Adam swears up and down, the fondness will rule, the fondness, the honor of the fondness, the conquer of the fondness is above anything else. But yet I'm still worried about this one woman. It just makes him look really pathetic, and I think that's in general why Adam in general is just such a really just badly written character in general. Hmm. Uh, shit. Let's see. I already got visuals. Oh yeah. If I didn't, I actually thought one part was funny when one of the huntsmen that were playing hooky, the screw up with the carbine rifle, the one with the carbine rifle on the train. Yeah, I kind of thought it was funny when he was hanging on the side of the train and he hit the wall of the tunnel that he still had his arm. It was just hurt. I was like, that's just literally one of the most bad uses of censorship I ever seen. In theory, that man would have lost his arm in that tunnel. With that type of the velocity of that train, the strike of that train, he would have been lost his arm by now. And I just thought that was just it was just a way to just introduce that. Hey, look, John has healing powers. Remember, I think that's the reason why he even still kept it to show that John still had the reminders that John Arc still had his healing powers, his healing semblance. Hmm. And I kind of also like the fact that he was able to merge it with Rents and pretty much shield the whole train, despite although the Grimm were literally looking at the train of who they were trying to catch. Yeah, he was still able to use his visibility literally in front of them. I still didn't understand how the Grimm weren't able to still spot him. If he's sitting right next, if the Grimm is looking right at him, and the first thing that happens is that it disappears. I think in the Grimm's mind, it was still noticed that no, something is up. Something doesn't seem right. Like I just thought that scene was just really quirky. In general, and in general, I'll just get to that later in the video. But like always, the voice acting is, I wouldn't say terrible. Some people bash the voice acting for being bad. I personally don't think Jessica Negri's is a good voice actor. She's a good cosplayer. She Jessica Negri's hot, all right. But no, seriously, the voice acting is subpar. uh, and with the type of script that Ruby's hanging with, like always, everyone pretty much just sound dumb as ever, or illogical, or have just no idea what's going on and whatnot. Uh, shit. Like the fact that he said the Grimm are attracted to not only their fear and their worry of the people on the train, but they're also attracted to the relic. So I can pretty much infer that Salem probably did something with her Grimm, or she probably done it from the beginning. She done something with her Grimm to track down the relics. I guess that's my guess on it, on what problem might be going on, why the Grimm are attracted to it, or something they might expand on later on in this volume. But that's just my hypothesis. That's my theory. Like I think Salem did something to the Grimm, to the new batch of Grimm or whatever, so they'll be attracted to the relic. And of course, if they get the relic, they'll bring it back to Salem. That's just my theory. I'm just shooting in the wind. That's all. That's why the Grimm may be attracted to it. And I just felt it's funny just how Osman literally waited until the last fucking minute to say that, hey, the Grimm are attracted to the lantern, to the relic. Maybe I should have told you that I got that later, and if I did, maybe we would have resolved this conflict later. That's all I'm just saying. on that part. It's just like always the script. Everyone just seems so dumb and they have no idea what the fuck is going on and whatnot. Like I feel like the script just it just it's it just make everyone seem really simple minded. Like, oh no, it's a Grim. Like, no shit, Ruby or Nora or whatever. We see the fucking Grim. We don't need you to say it. We know what's going on. You know, things like that. It may sound like nitpicking, but I think I think we can see it for ourselves. We can experience from just looking at it instead of someone just mentioning something. Like we know that there's Grim there. We know that that's a relic. We know that shit is going on. But yeah, y'all get the point. Uh, well, that's all I gotta say about the script. It's just the script just make the you can tell the voice actors are just just saying anything at one point. It's like just stating the obvious and just make them seem really really inane. I would say inane. Hmm. Let's see what else did I get to. Shit. I don't. I personally don't know what they're going to do with Alien now. How they make it look like they're going to do something with her, but that's pretty. It looks like they're going to do something with her or not, and especially when Neptune tried to hit on her, and she's like, "Oh, she don't bark up the wrong tree." I was like, "No shit, we can't already seen it. She's openly gay character. People keep trying to defend that. No, Elias an openly gay character because Ruby just needs a gay character, just like how Ruby just needs a token black character, Emerald. Let's see. Okay, yeah. By the end, when the train crashed, or at least one of the segments of the train, because I'm pretty sure they cut the latch separating one of the box cars from the actual train. The old chick with the robotic. No, I think those actually like. I think she's like Kano. Like that's surgically interfaced. I don't think those are glasses. I think how they made it look like the Kano jumps. Like those are actually are her face. Like they're optically put into her face. So that's pretty much what I gotta say about it. It's just when you saw that character. Okay, the trailer aside, of course. The trailer aside, about the time they show that character in the train in that sequence when they were in their little segment room, when they first showed that character, you can tell like, yeah, they're gonna do something with this character. Her design sticks out more. They keep, hinting her here and there. And especially when the scene when everyone was running from another box car to get from the Grim. She wasn't in a hurry and she actually looked like she was curious because she looked back and whatnot. So yeah, from there, even if you didn't look at the trailer, like yeah, this character's gonna play a pivotal role in this season. The only next new character you gotta get out of the way is fat purple bitch and the levitating guy. And I don't know, it just seemed like the old chick, she just came like, oh, only one still survived, like Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho. It's just like, is that it? That like, they how they could have introduced a character, it could have been better instead of just her just saying something and everyone was like, oh, she survives. They just could have introduced the character better, like I don't know, something else. And like I said in my RWBY trailer reaction, she's probably just gonna be some grand mistress like character or a silver eyed warrior. That's one that's been going around. But honestly, I think for me that's been debunked because that little blue goggle things look like those are actually like surgically implanted in her face because she probably lost her old eyes or she got blind. That so on this channel at least that theory has been debunked. I'm not no I don't know for sure. We'll just I'll just have to keep looking at the series like y'all do, and then the truth will finally reveal itself. Shit. Well, it seemed like they're actually finally traveling from one place to another, and I at least hope that this time around, Ruby Volume 6 actually establishes on the world building because Ruby in hindsight is actually like really bad with world building, or at least it's never really reinforced. Like it's there, the world building is there, the maps, the settings, the locations, the concepts. and the cultures here and there, maybe the people, they're all there. They're all there to set up world building, but it's never impacted. It's never put in. It's never put into play the world building. So I hope in Volume 6 they establish more on that. Because if you have, like, I don't know, animes like Dragon Ball Z that has better world building than you, which it may add, is arguably probably one of the most weakest written stories of all time. I mean, I still fucks with Dragon Ball Z, but Dragon Ball Z has a pretty, but has a weak story in general. And if they do that better than something that's still current in current time with current writers, then that may be a setback. I'm just using that as using Dragon Ball Z as an analogy, people. I'm not shitting on your childhood, as which y'all probably might already be thinking in the link description down below. I mean, the comment section, shit. Um, yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the overall show itself. The music, is average like always. And actually, I'm finally glad I got to this point where I can actually talk more about the actual intro of RWBY. That's always at the end, just like just like the first episodes of real anime. The intro is always at the end, and then in the next episode, the intro's first and the outro's there. You know, it's that style of RWBY, I guess. Um, or anime in general. Fuck, what I'm talking about. When I saw the intro, it's like always you see them, like, just horsing around and whatnot, and they're fighting, and from the looks of it, it looks like most of RWBY's setting may take place during that little tundra like backdrop that you see. So that's just my prediction. Like the major setting of Volume 6 is going to be around that tundra setting, because you see it frequently in the intro. But then again, in one scene you seen some weird Max robe covered figure walking through the Mistral, was it? Yeah, Mistral, the Faunus land. I know y'all can correct me on if I got it wrong, but yeah, you see the shrouded figure just walking through there, and there's one part where she stops and Roman Torchwick's fedora flies past her, and or it looked at female, okay, and it pretty much when it flew by, it caught its attention, like, oh shit, what's that? That looks really familiar. And a whole lot of people had a theory that that might be Neo, and I'm not saying that, and I'm probably not saying that's it's probable. I'm just gonna say it like that. I'm not gonna say it's illogical. It's probable. It maybe be Cinder. That's one theory that's been going around. That cloak figure may be Cinder. So it maybe it is Neo, or maybe it's Cinder. We'll never know until we see it. It's just that scene in particular just caught my attention. I guess that's a nod to fans of RWBY who've been looking at it since its inception, with Roman Torchwick being the main villain. So yeah, this is shot in the dark. I'm not sure, or it could just be just fan service or something. We'll never know until it comes out, like I always say. Shit. That's pretty much what I gotta say about the cloaked figure. Uh, the villains, Salem's fraction. It looks like they're going to reprise their roles as being the main henchmen of this saga. That's pretty much all I gotta say on that based on the intro. And it looks like Salem's finally going to take off her kid gloves in this volume. And I would say about time, because they I feel like I feel like we're already I'm already 5 or you are, whatever. We're already 5 seasons into the series, or 6 counting on this one, if you count this one. We're already 5 or 6 seasons into the series, and by then they should at least actually explain Salem. They should actually explain Salem by now. That's what I'm just saying. and this in volume 6 looks like they're finally going to establish on that. It's, I'm not here to give predictions on Salem's backstory, but I'm just saying volume 6 is starting to look a lot like they're going to expand on it. Finally, because we're finally 6 seasons into the series. They should by now. Uh, well, that's pretty much about it. That's pretty much what I got to say about episode 1, volume 6. Um, I'm gonna have to give it an exceptional. Only half of it tilting towards adequate, because although how good it was, it had blood and you know, the action was there. It kept me pumped. It even had it had the same atmosphere that reminded me of volume 1, 2, 3 RWBY, volume 3 RWBY more so, the best volume in the series. It had that atmosphere, that feeling to it, and that's what pumped me up to keep me in. But although they actually had action finally, and not, episodes about cooking and talking and exposition that literally doesn't go anywhere, and exposition that we already heard just told in a different manner of speaking. There's actually action to keep you enticed, and Ruby's story is it's entertaining enough. It's appealing enough. I'll just leave it as that. But all that aside, of course, because that's the positives. I just feel like there's a lot of questions a lot of things that just go unasked for, that went unanswered. Like it leaves a lot of shit that I have a lot of questions about, and whatnot. And honestly, this may seem like it contradicted the plot, but why does it still seem like Blake is conflicted with Adam, if the ending of Volume 5 was supposed to indicate that she's no longer shackled by his malevolence, like she broke free from his abusive relationship and his bullshit, but it still seemed like she's conflicted with Adam, and vice versa. So I don't know how that's going on. I mean, to me, the ending of Volume 5 with their confrontation, it always spoke to me like, yeah, like that part spoke to me like, yeah, this indicates that Blake is no longer going to take Adam's shit. She's going to stand up to that great dream gel looking ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what, or at least that's what it spoke out to me. Yeah, I may be wrong, or based on the writers, that's probably not the case. But that's just what I thought about their little confrontation at the end. So that may lead to some tone issues or some plot holes, but that's for another video and another theory video that you'll find thousands of on YouTube and whatnot. But that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. If I already rated it and it probably went over your head, I said it was exceptional, but it's tilting a little bit into adequate because a lot of things seem to be unanswered and whatnot. That's all I'm gonna say. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you want more videos such as moi to come around. I have a DeviantArt account in the link description down below. I'm an aspiring critic, writer, and mangaka, and I just want to show y'all the illustrations I've been making lately. I'm actually trying to get this shit off the ground. You know what I'm saying, man? Now more of this struggle shit. And actually, speaking of struggling, I also have a donation set up in my DeviantArt account. And if y'all guys even have like pocket change, it would be really generous if you could like lend some a bit, because like I said in my last video, I'm in a tight spot right now. So pocket change, hell, even valuable pocket lint would be generous. But as long as you just put it down in the donation and even tell other people about it, that would be nice and whatnot. I'll be having like probably a few more videos coming out this rest of the remainder of this year, I can say, whatnot. Well, that's pretty much about it. Like always, man, I had a storm is watching y'all.